Hello everyone and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. So last episode was all about addressing some issues that we had around this base, and I'm sure more will crop up very soon, but yeah, we left off actually trying to craft this Alchemical Chest. And it seems that our fixes and optimizations have made it much easier for us to create Draconic Cores, although there is a few things that we can still do to improve this process. But yeah, to get our Alchemical Chest, we need 4 reactor stabilizers from Draconic Evolution, and each one of these, among some other very expensive materials, take 5 chaotic cores each, so it adds up to be a lot of Draconic crafting. However, I did notice here that our Fusion Crafter is not able to handle this recipe, so currently we only have Draconic Fusion Crafting injectors, and to make the reactor stabilizers we need to be at chaotic tier, which means doing this recipe 9 times. Well, actually 12 times. Quite soon I think we're going to have to do the reactor recipe, or the stabilizer core recipe, and this has 12 input items, which means we need more injectors. Alright, so I've started to gather the materials for these injectors. We need 24 of each of these input items. And I've also requested the next 3 of the basic ones to take them up to the Draconic. Let's see, what are we missing here? Just chaotic cores? I mean, I say just chaotic cores. We have 12 already. We need another 12. I'm curious if we can request these. Okay, we can request them. Okay. Let's get those going then. Things are actually working. I can't quite believe it, but we're getting there. And you know what? We can help this along a little bit with our watch of floating time. Anyways, that's going to take a little bit to craft. I think we should look at ways of speeding this up further, and one of the main things is this Mystic Ingot. So you may have noticed here we've got a spare dimensional machine frame. We're going to make this into a liquid absorber, and then we can melt down some Mystic Ingots. Oh, there's still some stellar alloy in here. Fill up our liquid absorber. Took a minute, I didn't think that worked there. And the other reason we want to do this is to avoid having to use Demon Stone. So this Demon Stone we can actually create in the auto infusion matrix, but we had a chisel set up for Demon Stone bricks from the underworld, and that builder has not been running in a little while. I think it finished and I've yet to move it, but if we can avoid loading more dimensions, that's going to be nice. I'm getting quite aware of the amount of lag we're getting here, and we have to try to keep it to a minimum from here on out. Anyways, once we fill the liquid absorber, we will have to craft our liquid dimlet, and it looks like we're missing another one of these control circuit ones. Back to the flat dimension to loot some more of these houses. Man, this never gets old. I still love doing this. Wow, that actually took quite a few huts to loot this thing, but we got it out of a molten copper dimlet. We can swap this out for the bromine one we had before. That's going to take a minute or 2 to build the dimension up, and I think while I was looting all those huts, our crafting is finished for the injectors, or the materials for the injectors. Yeah, we got 3 Draconic here. So can we request 3 chaotic? We can, nice. There's 1 down, 11 to go. Although after the first 3, we're going to have to start swapping these about. And I guess because we've got extra, we're going to have to redo our laser and power transfer setup here as well. But first, Molten Mystic. Let's make sure to bring our ender tank. And let's see how crazy this looks. Oh yeah, sea of red and lag. We just have to enable our builder, load the chunks here, and that ender tank will be connected still to the same one the stellar alloy was. So I think we're going to have to change some things around down there. Yeah, some of these still have stellar alloy in. Or wait a second, this isn't the same ender tank. Maybe I got the colours mixed up, hold on. It turns out we're actually using orange, white, orange, but before we do that, let's make sure we replace these casting basins. It's going to avoid a little bit of stellar alloy, but it's no big deal in the grand scheme of things, so we can get infinite of this. And we still have a very healthy supply of stellar alloy, 3,000 blocks of it, so yeah, we're good for that for the time being. Ah, molten red. We have to also give this a drawer. We'll give it a compacting drawer, I guess. Filter the drawer and give it some upgrades. And we'll let this run for a good few hours to buffer up these tanks and also the drawer. And hopefully we'll never have to go back there for this again. So the first chaotic injectors have finished crafting. Let's replace out our draconic ones. Okay, we got the 9 originals upgraded. We've got 3 more to craft. And I was going to put the last 3 on this side, but I think we can actually make it work. And keep this side open so that we can see what we're crafting actually. Yeah, you know what? If we could reconfigure these and have 3 along the bottom, and then 3 item laser relays in the middle, then we can put the last 3 on top here. We'll have to give them all power, and we're going to keep using integrated tunnels for this since it gives us unlimited power throughput, or effectively unlimited power throughput, so long as we set the energy transfer limit to maximum. Yeah, there is about maximum. And we'll have to connect up our lasers, make them -1, and I think we can actually even move this middle one on top of the fusion crafting core, and we'll move the redstone clock underneath, because that thing was so ugly up there. It needs moved. Hook this up and give this highest priority. And then because we've got item conduit here, we can actually share the block space and put some redstone conduit in there. And then connect this up to our clock, which is hidden underneath now. Nice, that's much clearer than we had before, isn't it? Plus we got our chaotic fusion injectors. So yeah, now back to these reactor stabilizers for this massive craft that we've got ahead of us. And remember, we need to make multiple of these chests. And when I say multiple, I mean over 10 of these things. So can we at least request our stabilizers now? We are missing Mobgrindium ingots. Oh, that's not good. More firefighting today? It looks like it. Okay, something must have broke last episode with these things. Let's go investigate. Yeah, so we have Mobgrindium on passive over here, which does seem to be running okay. And in fact, it's at maximum speed. I think what's changed though is that our blood magic setups is much more robust now. And we use blocks of Mobgrindium for void reagents, as well as the ingots, I think, for crepitus here. Yeah, and because these are always running now, our demand for Mobgrindium has went up significantly. So we're going to have to buff our production up a little bit. In fact, probably quite a bit. We may as well go all the way. If we're going to do this once, we may as well make sure we don't have to do it in the future. Where do we put this though, is the question. You know what, I think we'll put it down here, underground at our expansion area. This will give us plenty of space to work with, and we'll have lots of channels here as well. Actually, on second thought, some of you guys have suggested adding some more verticality to this base. We have a lot of setups here on the same level, more or less. And the roof, especially over this side, has ended up quite flat. And as for the AE channels, if we check the visualization tool here, which is awesome. I mean, look at this. Yeah, look at all the channels we're using. Look at this. This is crazy. So most of the things are out of render distance. It only renders, I think, within 2 chunks. But yeah, it just keeps going. You just follow the snake all the way around the base. Anyways, what I was getting at with this is, the channels is not an issue. We can bring a line up the wall here somewhere. And I think we'll start a second layer up here for more machines. That way we don't have to chunk load anymore, and it will add some interesting features onto the top side of this base. Well, it's been a while since I've sat down to build, but I really enjoyed my afternoon, to be honest. I got a little bit carried away with the building. Yeah, I quite like the way this turned out. I tried to keep it quite varied and not have the walls flat, while still sticking to the same style as the rest of the base. Still not sold on this roof. I think this is going to have to go, to be honest. Every time I pass this and have a look at that roof up there, it just doesn't fit. I think we're going to have to go with a circle instead. But anyways, we've got our new machine walls here. I think we're going to have another row of machines over here. And I wanted to leave plenty of space this time for wiring. No more 1 block gaps between the walls for the wires. But yeah, as for the applied energistics connection, we have this coming up from right about here, which connects up over here. Yeah, you can see it snake all the way up there to the new part of the base. And for this wall, I've dedicated an interface to each one of these alloy smelters. On the old setup down here, we had some issues with item transfer limits. And sometimes the alloy smelters or whatever machine was not getting the inputs fast enough. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't an issue here. And I also wanted to make sure we could expand this if we need to. But right now I got the Mobgrindium hooked up, and I think actually we are short on Demon Lord ingots. Or we will be if we add any more of these ones. So the Demon Lord is made with Demon ingots, which we have plenty of, and Lunar Reactive Dust. The lunar reactive dust buffer is filled up, but that may be something we have to increase production for. Although I did just notice that we can get this from EMC now. And we're close to being able to automate EMC, so I would kinda like to hold off on this as long as possible. Let's just max upgrade the drawer. But for sure we will have to add some more Mobgrindium alloy smelters here. So the way we're going to do this one, to avoid having to use item conduits, we still have the stellar on the back to power it from the quantum entangler. We are just going to use the push-pull functions on the alloy smelter to import and export the items. Although as you can see here, it doesn't actually export all the items, and that is because I think it's similar to the impulse hopper. We've seen this issue next to blood magic setups. This machine can only perform one action at a time, although once the buffer reaches 64, it should push the items to the drawer. Although if it does become an issue, we have space here for item conduits anyway. And I wish we were able to see smelting time on these ingots. I'm not actually sure the ratio that we need for these things. And so the drawer network is connected via this drawer controller, and this just has a high priority storage bus on here. Oh, and this really changes the look of here. When you're standing in this intersection, things look a little... It feels like I'm in a different base now. But something else we have run out of in the past, fairly recently actually, is energized dark ingots. And these dark ingots are also pretty important, although these are a multiple stage process. We have to get dark ingots and then also some naphtha and refined fuel. But I think we're going to have to rebuild this setup up there as well. But let's switch gears again and look back at our extended crafting over here. So while I was building that, I did request some more Draconic Cores. Let's see if we can get the last 2 reactor stabilizers that we need. We can request this, awesome. Yeah, this might take a little bit to craft, but we can do it. Although I guess we are still missing the rest of the components for this chest. Let's maybe put in a recipe for it and just see what else we're missing. Okay, is that everything? I think I got the recipe encoded right here. Let's put this in our manual crafting interface and see what the damage is here. I'm a little scared to hit this button. Okay, over 200 Draconic Cores, nearly 4,000 galactic ingots. The plastic we should increase the buffer for. Everything else we have, Mobgrindium, yeah, we need to add more alloy smelters still. We do have the tenebrae now, which is unusual. Oh, and all these ingots are for singularities. Resonant clathrates, huh? I think we're going to have to passive these ones. Everything else we can make though. Lots more singularities. Oh, we just keep scrolling, Yeah, that looks like it actually. I mean, this is probably the most expensive craft we've made all pack. But we're not actually too far away. Let me fix the plastic and these clathrates down here. And to do that, it's very easy. We can just add a crafter here. Make use of our mystical agriculture Enderium essence and flint. And problem solved. The plastic we addressed recently, we just forgot to add the drawer upgrade on this, so let's make sure we do that. Yeah, I think this is going to be plenty fast enough, to be honest. Alright, how is this craft coming along? We have to craft some more corrupted cores. Oh, that's right, I also forgot I requested these crystal cores as well. We can make the corrupted cores first. We need 7 of these apparently. And we do have lots more celestial crystals ready to craft here. I refilled the input for that while I was building actually. But crafting these things is not going to be long term. Once we have neutronium, there is a much easier recipe with the nugget. It's also quite cool being able to see what we can actually craft now without a laser in the way. So one of the other components we need for this quest, and also the chest, is Neptunium, which we haven't made yet, but this comes from our highly radioactive dimension splitting compound, which we do have automated. We just have to have a recipe in the chemical dissolver for this. Or wait a second, I think we already had one for Rutherfordium. So we have 17 to our name right now. Let's see if we can get the 6 ingots I think we need. It's 8 ingots per chest. Okay, let's see if we can get 8 ingots. Oh, we can. We already have some of this compound in our AE system already. And we also have to craft this stabilizer frame manually on the advanced crafting table. There's one of those things. And we're waiting on a whole lot of singularities again. Although I did put down the watch of flow and time down here. So it's much faster than it otherwise would be. So it looks like we're also short awakened, or what is this called? Corrupted draconium? I'm not sure if there's any way to automate this. I bet the mechanical user would work, but maybe we should craft another philosopher's stone. This is still very expensive though. Let's maybe hold off on that. I'm just gonna batch craft this for now. Also, this has to be one of the loudest items in this game. Oh, and I forgot we could actually charge this thing and do them all at once. Yeah, this makes things a lot easier at least. Alright, now how are we looking for this alchemical chest? Hey, we have a start button. 1.5 million bytes. Let's go. So this is going to take a little while to craft. So in the meantime, I'm going to set up the energized dark ingots again here. I wonder if there's actually any easier way to get this at this point in the game. I don't recall there's any other way other than this refined fuel method. So I know that coming back to old setups like this, trying to rebuild is not the easiest thing to do. I do actually really struggle with it myself, to be honest. And it's not necessarily just something that happens in the late game either. But whenever you reach a hurdle like this and you feel like everything is just going wrong, like we've had for the last few episodes, you just have to sort of take a step back and realise how much you've already automated. I mean, I have no idea if this is going to be sufficient for us to finish the pack with, but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, so to say, make some slow and steady progress, the results will pay off eventually. Although sometimes realising the scope of what you've got ahead of you is very daunting. Nothing was more true in episode 1 when I titled that thing A Daunting Future, and it definitely is daunting to start DJ2. But man, is this a fun pack. Anyways, have those machines crafted yet? No, okay. Oh wait, our Alchemical Chest is almost done. That was quicker than I actually thought. We just need 2 more Celestial Crystal Cores, or 1 more Celestial Crystal Core, and we have all the items for our first Alchemical Chest. This isn't quite as exciting as some of the other big crafts, because we have to make so many more of these things, but there we have it. And our first quest of the day. Perhaps the only quest of the day, but it's progress nonetheless. But to move on and make the energy condenser, we need another one. Yeah, let's see if we can just request one. I don't think we're going to be able to get this, to be honest. Yeah, we're missing a lot of stuff. Oh, this is almost 2 million bytes. Yeah, 17k Mobgrindium, and it starts all over again. Yep, more rainbow tablets, more Salus. Look at all this. And gravel. We're missing gravel, apparently. Okay, one issue at a time. Let's put this aside for now. Let's fix our energized dark ingots first. Oops, forgot the crushing step. This sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Alright, if this isn't enough for Energized Dark, then something's very wrong. So we have 7 of each machine for this process, each feeding into the next, left to right, except when we get to this part. So we have the Crusher for pulverized coal, Magma Crucible to liquefy it, Fractionating Still to give us the Naphtha. We also get a tar output, which we are just putting into a voided drawer up here. Then the liquid is sent via fluid conduit to the next fractionating still, where we get refined fuel. And we also get sulfur from this, but we're absolutely swimming in sulfur, so we're just voiding it with this nullification chamber. Then the refined fuel gets combined with dark ingots, which come from the alloy smelters next to this, which smelt some of the tar which is in that drawer, and also bitumen. And then all of the outputs are taken from the back. I love how clean this is, by the way. So much better than our old setups. But yeah, the outputs are taken via conduit and put into this storage drawer. And we're already up to 10 stacks, which is awesome. Let's make sure we upgrade this drawer. How are these machines still making sound? I put muffling upgrades on these. I'm sure I did. I did. Oh, mechanism. Anyways, that's one wall completed. Now we have to fix our Mobgrindium, which is what we set out to do, but I kind of got a little distracted with that. The question is though, how crazy do we go with this? I mean, gunpowder is not going to be an issue for us. The Demon Lord, as I mentioned, we may have to add some more lunar reactive dust. Let's just add as much production as we actually need, and then we'll meet demand for this, rather than having to do this twice. Is 4 of each going to be enough? Who knows? We should really upgrade these to Stellar though, but we are once again out of shulkers. I don't really know why I didn't think of this earlier, but we should have got a powered spawner for these guys. And the Mob Loot Fabricator is still something we have to get, but our to-do list grows every single day. And I feel like I've been saying that for many episodes now, but it's true. We only need a few of these things anyway. Okay, we got 20 capacitors ordered up to upgrade all of these machines. And it looks like while I was farming those shulkers, we have run out of lunar reactive. And I honestly am quite reluctant to add the resonators for these, when we can so easily get it with EMC, because this would also mean scaling up Osco Glass to get Osco Lapis, and also another alloy smelter for this step here, plus the resonator, and we can easily just get it for free like this. So I don't know, it feels kind of bad to add all those steps when we're so close to being able to automate this. I'm going to stand here for like 5 minutes and fill our ME system with lunar reactive. Yeah, that's all the EMC we had to our name, and we're up to 12,000, which is gonna last us probably a full day actually. There's no way we're gonna use that much Mobgrindium in one day. Oh, and that's right, gravel is also an issue here. I guess it's used in the Terra for the alchemy table. I mean, we can very easily add a crafter here with a compacting drawer to fix this. We have, I think, full buffers of stone and dirt essence. So yeah, at this point, let's have a little break from the alchemical chests and whatnot. Let's move on to some of the other items that we're going to need for this. So we mentioned last episode that our goal is the creative dank null to make the creative mill, and then neutronium compressor. This is something we're going to rush. And the other part we need for this is the essence of enlargement. And to make this thing, we're going to first of all need a lot of red matter, which is a lot of EMC to be melted manually. It's possible though. We also need 4 overgrowth seeds, which I didn't actually realise has a crafting recipe. We can put this in very easily. But these are also dropped by the Gaia Guardian, so I think we should have some of them. We have 3 at the moment, but yeah, we can easily craft more of this. Let's see, we also need the large storage crate, which is made from the medium and the small. Yeah, this is easy to craft. Let's put in some recipes for this as well. Oh, and of course the wood casing takes a machine frame. That's... I'm not surprised anymore. Okay, we need 4 of these things, very easy. The Chaos Stabilizer Core, which we have seen before, but we do need a recipe for this. Oh, this also requires a fishing control. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so we have to make at least a few more of these fishing controllers. Alright, I put in the recipe, let's see what we're missing. Apparently nothing, actually. Okay, let's request this then. Yeah, things are coming together, nice. Okay, so what else for this fission stabilizer? 4 plutonium, 4 uranium, 2 ytterbium, and 2 radium. I hope we have those things, to be honest. But yeah, we need the recipe for this. And I think we're actually out of interface slots down here. Yeah, we'll need some expansion cards. I don't know how I'm going to go back to a pack without these things. These are awesome. But this is just the regular reactor core. We have to stabilize it using more of the stabilizers. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get this today, but let's make sure we encode all the recipes. Okay, that one. Oh, this hurts to see. Oh, and this stabilizer core is also used in the energy condenser, along with these alchemical chests. Although other than that, I think we've got the rest of the recipes for the essence of enlargement. Rutherfordium ingots we get from dimension splitting compound. So we're going to encode a package for this. We can just import the recipe, hit save, and put this inside our packager. And now we can see the recipe package for the essence of enlargement. There's not really any need to add this to an unpackager, since we can just empty this package ourselves and then finish crafting it on the crafting table. But I'm going to wait for this to finish, and then we'll see how far away we are from at least one of these essence of enlargements. Okay, the fishing controller, our second fishing controller, is finished crafting. And we can manually finish this on the ultimate crafting table. So now let's see how far away we are. 1.6 million bytes. Yep, this is a lot of stuff again. What are we missing? The 18 red matter, we knew that we were missing that. 32 rutherfordium, I think we're missing a recipe actually for this. And mystical fertilizer. I thought we had some of this actually. Oh, I was thinking about fertilized essence, which is a different thing entirely actually. Yeah, we have some of this from when we used to farm our crops with the farming station. But the EMC for the red matter we can just grab manually. I think we're missing 18. It's actually not as much as I first anticipated. Okay, there's 20 red matter at least. And then as for the mystical fertilizer, our only option is to use the chemical combiner, which takes polyvinyl chloride. This comes from beam cores, which we've melted quite a lot of. We used to use these to get nickel chloride, and I don't think we were using the polyvinyl before. And this alchemistry fertilizer comes from these 3 compounds, which I do recognise. I think we've got recipes already for all of these. So we got 3 of these recipes for our combiners. So now we can request this essence of enlargement, but while I was encoding all those recipes, I did realise, you know, this shares a lot of the same components as we need for this energy condenser. And I think I would rather get the energy condenser first, especially with all the awakened draconium cost, or the chaotic cores I mean. Plus we need 2 of these essences. Yeah, I mean, if we were to craft those things, we can't actually do anything with them at the moment. I mean, we do get 16 corrupted cores as the quest reward, but they're not really useful for us at the moment, to be honest, whereas the alchemical chest would be. But at least now we have all the recipes and things encoded for it. But anyways, I think with that we're going to wrap things up here. I will definitely change this between episodes. I've decided this is going to get changed. I just wanted to have some height variation, but it doesn't fit in with this base. But anyways, that's going to do us for today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all soon for some more Divine Journey 2.